as always, a little intro music. Welcome to episode 10 of the Shipcom live unboxing series. We'll give a couple seconds for people to join, but I can already see a bunch of people jumping in. Would love to get the chat going a little bit. Feel free to say where you're calling in from. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, as always, but a pleasure to see everyone here. Oh, well, perfect. Good morning, good afternoon from Michael. Pleasure. Toronto. I went to school up in Vermont, northern Vermont, UVM, and I had a ton of buddies that were from Toronto. So I know enough to call it Toronto instead of Toronto.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
what,
that's true.
yeah, that's the local jarb that I've gathered from some of my hockey playing buddies at UVM. But yeah, pleasure to have everyone here. Brooklyn, love it. Yep, Toronto. That's funny.
I'm Canadian, Michael, so we got that in common. I live in the States now, but actually I was just up in St. Thomas last weekend visiting my brother and had some family up there. So, oh, we got another Tirana. Oh, look at
Toronto.
that. Look at this.
Oh, Clarence,
Clarence,
good to see you, sir.
love it, my man.
We're gonna still take you up on that golf. I haven't forgot about it. But
Let
uh,
me get this
well,
geez, I'm so like slacking. I haven't even shared my screen.
no, you're good.
Jeez. God, get it together.
And while people are joining too, I'll go over for the new folks too. For some folks who are joining for the first time this year, you picked an exciting session to come to. Brandon and I host these just about every week, and what we do is we do a live unboxing. So for people who register for the webinar, brands that raise their hand, what we do is we order a package from the folks that are on this call. I'm sure we have some people on the call here today who are going to be featured, and we feature 4 unboxings, and then this is why I love getting the chat going a little bit early. We'll have everyone score what the experience was like. So essentially the experience from when you check out from your D2C shop to when the package has arrived. So we've had some exciting packages in the past. Fire Department Coffee is one that I always acknowledge. They got a 9.4.
Clarence's barbecue sauce was
Man,
9.3, nine
yeah.
two.
And then what makes the episode a little bit fun sometimes is that we have some not so exciting shipping experiences. Like last week, I ordered a pair of shorts. I think it took 35 days for us to get them, right? So things like
Mhm.
that. But yeah, quick intro from me. My name is Jack. Own a small brand. I've worked in e-commerce for 10 years. I host a ton of webinars now, and get to spend a couple hours a day with people like Brandon, who's an absolute legend. Thank you so much for letting me co-host these with you. And I'm excited for this week's. It's somewhat of our season 10 finale of the live unboxing series. And, and then we'll declare a winner. So stick to the end. We'll have a winner at the end. Maybe a nice little trophy for the end all be all best winner that we've had throughout this series. And as always, the whole program, everything, nothing would happen without Shipcom. So Shipcom, thanks so much for hosting and sponsoring the event. I've had so much fun, and I'm excited to keep it going and pass it off to you, Hammer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's good times here. So I'll just kind of dovetail a little bit off of what Jax was kind of giving you guys. So I will give you, as I'm unboxing stuff, I'll give you exactly when we ordered it, when it arrived, when it shipped, what the cost was, what the general experience was, so you can kind of have an idea of sitting in our seat, what it was like. So you can offer a grade. We go 0 to 10. And we've had some 2s where, it's shown up and the shampoo bottles exploded all over the place and everything's all over and it's bad delivery. And we've had some 9.3s and 9.4s where custom packaging, custom boxing, QR codes, really cool, neat experience. So everything kind of in between, just to give you guys an idea of like our grading scale. And it's we're not grading you when you grade, so don't worry about it. Just throw some grades out there. It's totally awesome and we love it. And so like don't be stressed out, just join, it's fun. And then, like Jack said, this is the end of episode of the first season. So we've been talking about packaging and kind of B2B omni-channel fulfillment. The next season is going to be about returns and like all about returns packaging, like the whole reverse logistics process and how you can save money as a brand and how you can optimize savings. So stay tuned for that. We're still going to unbox everything. That'll be the main thing. That's what we do here, but it'll be like returns. So it's kind of some new information, those that have dragged along here with us, which we love you, it's kind of the same stuff, but we want to just keep reiterating like some of the savings. And you can always check this stuff out on YouTube. So we're constantly updating it on YouTube, putting it out there. And so you can always go back if you're a brand and you weren't on here, you had to jump off early because you missed your unboxing. You can always go to YouTube on our Shipcom channel and check it out and watch it from there. So and then last little housekeeping, click your chat box, put it to everyone so we can all see what everybody's saying. Super helpful, keeps us in line, keeps us in check. And if you have any points, tips or anything like that during this process, let us know, because we like to get better and we like to hear from you guys. So yeah, I'm Brandon, head of growth, Shipcom. I do a lot of the relationship building in the front end with D2C brands and start to understand their business and get to see if we could be a fit with the brands that we work with. Our business concept, high level, is we're a third-party operations for e-commerce brands. We try to help brands scale and get through those kind of barriers to growth as you're trying to build a brand and go from a D2C store to full omni-channel fulfillment and help you scale seamlessly. Our guarantee, or our mission, I should say, is make our customers more successful. So we do that by removing barriers to growth, allowing you to be in multiple selling channels without having to worry about scaling it all. And you can store all your inventory at Shipcom. Everything can sit with us, and we can do Amazon and Shopify and WooCommerce and Nordstrom and Target and all the likes, right?
Mhm.
And that's a hard thing to do, but we do it, and we enjoy doing it. And then creating a better customer experience for your customer. So that's something we're going to talk about today. I'm the customer right now for these brands. How was the shipping delivery time? Did it come out fast? Did it arrive when it's supposed to arrive? How expensive was the shipping cost? Did I pay more than I felt like I should have? Did I get a good product? Am I going to buy this again because of my experience, right? And a 3PL can have a big impact on that. And then finally, just bringing down your cost, improving unit economics. So we guarantee that we can do that at Shipcom, whether it's through freight, through packaging, through fulfillment, through whatever it may be. We look at your business as a whole, and we believe with our technology and the things that we do that we can save you money. So those are some brands that we work with. Kind of cool news. Dr. Squatch just got bought by Unilever last week. So
I
pretty
saw
big
that.
deal. Yeah,
Yes, I
$2
saw
billion.
that.
So it just goes to show a brand that went viral off of YouTube and building, videos off of YouTube, and obviously they crush it and they're like an amazing brand, but one of the big boys came in and bought them. So it's pretty cool to see.
Very cool.
So here we are.
All right, for those of you who are just joining, 8 minutes in, I want to give a little bit of grace for the folks who are just hopping in. Like, we're doing some fun live unboxings. So remember, scale of 0 to 10, decimals encouraged. Let's hear about this experience from Cordova, the outdoor, what would you call this? Essentially like a cooler backpack type of company?
They've got,
Outdoor
yeah.
gear?
So yeah, I think this is like their flagship product, right? Is this cooler backpack, kind of probably similar to, a Yeti or things of that nature, right? It looks like it. We didn't get that. We've got something in a different size shape here, box, but fundamentally, and it's cool because it's a veteran owned, operated company, and they do durable outdoor quality products. So pretty sweet. So interesting experience. Ordered on 6/9, so June 9th, but they didn't ship it out of their warehouse till 6/18. And candidly, we reached out and said, "Hey, what's going on here?" We paid it was $22 for this product, and we paid $23 for 2-day expedited shipping, and it didn't ship for 9 days. Didn't even move. So we
Wow.
reached out and said, "Hey, what's going on? Like, where's my order?" And they were switching fulfillment firms, so using another 3PL, unfortunately. And I don't know if it's during the transition or if they were leaving it and whatever, but that was their reasoning, was they blamed it on the 3PL, which is true. I mean, the 3PL didn't ship this thing out when it's just, if it was at our warehouse, it shipped same day. Like comes in, goes out next the same day. Like that's just how it should work. And we're all accustomed to that from Amazon, especially when you pay 2-day shipping. Kind of a pain. Now, the cool thing is, which I love about this owner and this brand and what they did is we called them up and they said, listen, we're going to get a new one out right away, overnighted it, no cost, and refunded the old shipping cost. So like awesome brand experience, did a great job, but the 3PL kind of dropped the ball there, you know, in my opinion, right? So that's where I was saying earlier, the 3PL has a huge impact on your business. Like they did nothing wrong, Cordova, just selling a product, and then they had to go make up for the 3PL's mistake, you know, and that's frustrating if I'm a brand and it's like, hey, what the heck's going on here? So so that's the experience. You guys can see that from checkout to arrival. And now what I typically do is do a little screen stop share. We zoom in and we unbox this bad boy. So we always like to look at the typical box itself. It's a little rattle, but not a lot. So I think we've got some space, but not a ton in here. No branded packaging, kind of your standard 10 by 6 by 6 Uline box. Good label. Again, I always just do this. Sometimes everybody's like, why do you just, because it's a big deal if the label's unclear, just from a scanning perspective, making sure it gets through the supply chain properly. So we got that, it's placed good. And it's in the 2 pounds category. So interesting. As you can kind of see that. It doesn't feel like 2 pounds to me. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, the $23, of course, we got the cost back. But I feel like the cost might be a little expensive here for 2-day. $23 for a 2 pound box. And again, this isn't even 2 pounds in my opinion. So I think there's some opportunity for improvement here. All of these things end up hitting your margin and your unit economics, every little penny. So having a fulfillment company that knows what the heck they're doing when it comes to weighing products and putting products in boxes can really make a better experience. So we open this up. Here we go. We got some filler. There we go. And, you know, there's a little bit of space, but also, you know, could this have gone in something smaller? I don't know. There's some smaller boxes, maybe a 9 by 5 by 4. Depends on what the 3PL has, but candidly, they probably paid a little bit more for shipping on this just because of the size here. And I also think the weight that this was put in here. So yeah, this is a 14-ounce cup. So that is under a pound. So it says it right there, and they paid 2 pounds for shipping. I mean, that's a couple bucks difference right off the get-go. So this brand immediately lost margin because of the way that this was weighed and the packaging. So just something to think about there. Cool box though. Love this. You know, very nice. Any thoughts? I know it'll cut to you, Jack. So you jump in.
You know, now I'm getting so used. I don't want to cut away from you, but two immediate things come to mind. One, like, you know, can you not ship in just that box? Is that not looked at as something that's best practice? And then two, you know, like, do you think that this was shipped? I mean, surely from the new 3PL that they were working with, right? And it's kind of like one of their first new shipments out the door. Also, like worth noting, $1.31 more for shipping than the product cost, right? Not shipped in 10 days. Like it's nice that the customer experience was good in the sense that we called and they refunded the shipping and did all that. But like, I feel like if we had never called, nothing would have ever happened, right? Like it would have just been business as usual.
Yeah, exactly. So let me touch on 2 things. Yes, you could ship out of this, just needs the proper label on it. They might be concerned because of Porch Pirates, but I think, you know, we've proven in the experience doing this that it's not as big a thing. And if you get some insurance on it, you know, it could be a thing as well and help mitigate any losses there. And yeah, the shipping cost itself at that $2. And see what happened was they marked it as a 2 pounder, so you're going to get this more expensive cost, especially 2-day. and it's not 2 pounds, so there's some definite opportunities for, and then the other thing you said was it the new fulfillment company? Maybe. We don't know that, because what happens is typically while companies are transitioning, if you're working with a good 3PL, the new 3PL, the incumbent, who's hopefully smarter and better, should allow for you to still fulfill at the other warehouse to wind down some inventory while you get set up at the new one. So your store is down for as little as possible, because at the end of the day, you don't want to have your store down. So this could have shipped from the new one or the old one.
Yeah. Let's see what it is. This
Yeah.
is my
So
favorite part.
yeah, little bubble, some squishy poppy bags, and a cool mug, which I love. So that
Yeah,
very nice.
that is cool. So
Yeah.
for me, I felt like the box was a little too much space. Like I think I could have put that box sideways and I could have fit two of those boxes in that 2 pound cardboard box, to be honest. Like if you were going to ship two. Um, I don't know. The 10 days kills me, so I go five. I lose a couple points there, but then, you know, and everyone on the call knows I talk about this every week. Like at the end of the day, it's after all said and done, does the customer feel like they would purchase from them again? You know, like they
Hmm.
had the 10-day, that was a pain. They explained the reasoning. Like I feel a personal connection to the brand a little bit. So like my answer is actually yes. Like I would probably purchase from them again. So for me, I don't know, chat. What do you think? I'm at a 6, to be honest with you.
Look at that, Jenny. She's a rock star coming in with the 5.5.
Oh, Jenny, you're at 5.5. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so like I'll give my feedback. I think if they had not stepped up and said, hey, we're going to overnight this right away and refund the shipping cost, then I wouldn't order from them again, and that isn't even their fault. They actually just got burned by the 3PL, which kind of sucks. But that's the experience. And we don't know that. Well, we know that. Other customer doesn't know that, right? And so that's like a challenge, and that brands deal with that all the time. So you have to be super mindful around that. So I think that they recovered well. I think there could have been some savings on the shipping box itself, which I think is why we grade with the way we grade. That's part of packaging. It's part of what we're trying to show here. And I go back to this too: no resell options, no QR code, no marketing
Yeah.
insert, nothing there that was like, hey, this could be opportunity. Go get our flagship product. You just spent $20. Go get 20% off this other ticket item, right? So I'm gonna go. I like gosh, Jenny's so dialed in always. I'm gonna sit right with her. I'm gonna go 5.5.
Okay, 5.5. Coming out middle of the heat for,
Anybody else? Any other scores? I know we got more people on this call. Step up. Don't be shy.
yeah, what do you think?
We can add some scores in later.
And Clarence, he was at a 5.5.
There we go. Thank you, Katrina. There we
Yeah.
go. Little 5.
Oh,
Perfect.
fun, fun actually. My parents live out in West Texas now. So I don't know what part of Texas you're in, but I spend a ton of time out in Midland, Fort Davis, Marfa. I noticed earlier you mentioned you're from Texas. Um, a
Yep.
fun-
I like that, Michael. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, there you go. Next to
Oh
Fort
yeah.
Hood.
Oh,
Perfect.
that's fantastic. I drove right through there. I mean, it took me like 23 hours to get there, but I like road trip in Texas. It's fun. You can drive 100
Yeah.
miles an hour and they don't get upset with you. It's amazing.
Be safe out there. All right.
I will.
Um, So we'll those of you who've seen this before, but I do like to talk. We just talked about it. How do you reduce shipping costs, right? So smaller boxes, not wasting void filled air on that last one we just saw, getting the proper weight, huge deal. That's kind of a big deal when it comes to that. Um, if you're gonna not worry about weight so much and you have size, there are other options. You can go FedEx One Rate, right? Regardless of how heavy it is, they'll just do if it fits, it ships, is what they call it. And so there's other options there that you can look at from a packaging perspective and just trying to get a flat rate. So you have a place that you're running out of boxes wherever you are, and there's some FedEx One Rate options out there too. But there's just you just got to be smart about it. This is a $23 shipping cost because of on my opinion, was over a pound more, which could have saved quite a few dollars in my opinion. So something to think about there. And yeah, there's ways to just bring those costs down. If you're running your own warehouse and your own operation, you deal with this regularly and you can see how that works. There's ways to, obviously, if you want to work with 3PL, we've got a lot more box options, a lot more box sizes. But when you are working with a 3PL, you need to make sure they put your products into their system properly. So I don't know if this mug is set up in the 3PL system as a 2-pound product. They should be weighing it every time too, but there's things that sometimes get bypassed there, and you just need to be more on top of it. So all these things affect unit economics, and all these things bring costs down for brands. And as a brand owner, you just need to be dialed in and looking at that stuff. So these are ways that we can do that. And this is just a general kind of cost savings when it looks at packaging and freight and all that stuff overall. This is something that we've done for a brand before. Show this slide. We can analyze your packaging, we can analyze your freight, we can analyze your fulfillment. We just need some data, and we can potentially look at saving a brand a boatload of money, when it comes to certain things. So this was a company we did some business for. We did a whole like for like apples to apples comparison, them doing fulfillment on their own versus bringing it in-house with ShipCon, and we were saving them, close to $250,000 a year, and they were still growing. So there's more room for that. And those are things that we do. I've done it with many people that have been on this call already, working through pricing and working through freight analysis and doing that stuff. There's no charge. It's free. I'm happy to do it. Not trying to pitch anything. At the end of the day, just provide knowledge and potentially save you guys money. And we do that by just analyzing a lot of different things, zone shipping, locations, things of that nature. So, all right.
Chris, what the heck? I mean, why not throw the meeting link in the chat? We got a bunch of people on the call today too, so genuinely no pressure. I'll lead by saying that, but
Yeah.
Chris, if you don't mind, and the wonderful Chris, thanks for joining us. The Shadow Man.
All right.
Okay, so
So
this
get
is
into,
ground up.
ground up nut butter. On our call, Kimberly was on our call 2 weeks ago and was like, hey, I want to be on. Let's check it out. I don't think she's on today just because she might be out of pocket, but we're recording this for you and we will send you the video so that you can see what's happening. We got you. But this is nut butter. They have some really cool, unique flavors. If you guys check out their website, I think I forgot what I purchased, but I'm super excited to try this out later today and this weekend. But yeah, I'll give you the high level. So I ordered this on 6/12 and it shipped same day. So they got it out of the warehouse same day. I believe they're fulfilling on their own because I think when I was talking to Kimberly, that's kind of their modality. So that they got it out quick, which is awesome. $32 for the product. I believe there's 2 jars in here, but it could be wrong. I think there's 2. And shipping was $8. So we just did ground regular shipping and it arrived 6/18. So with the weekend included and everything totally in line with what the expectations were. It actually just missed last week's unboxing because I think we pushed the day up early for Juneteenth. So it would have been ready for a normal Thursday, but we got in a little early. So excited to open this up and see what's going on and give you guys a little review before yeah. So let me just stop share here.
Yeah, Chad, be thinking about your scores here. I am
Yeah,
already
I gave
impressed
you.
with, I'm
Yeah.
already impressed with the tape. The tape already puts it one above for me.
Yeah, so we got good tape here, which is cool. So some branding, which is awesome. And they didn't tape over the label. They put the label in a good spot, which was nice. So, they taped obviously this up first and then put the label over. But we've seen some where literally they've put the label over a bunch of logos. The label covers the tape. It's kind of silly. This was 3 pounds. And like I said, regular UPS ground saver. So, and I paid, like I said, $8 for this. I know just for what it's worth, a 3-pound regular, where did this come from? This came from Oregon. So it came across the country. So decent. I know like a zone 6 for us on a 3 pound product is probably around 545 to ship, just so for what everybody's knows. Why was the previous $20 for shipping 2 pounds? Oh, is expedited. So they did 2 day Jenny, the last one. This was just regular ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay. So kind of a cool box. I think you guys can see it's like a little box inside of a box. So I'm really interested to see how this opens up. And if it just like slides out or how. So bear with me while I try to get into this Jenga box. Oh yeah, so I just like cut and then it slid right out. So I hadn't seen that before. So that's kind of cool. I like that. It's almost like its own protective deal.
Jenny, I think we need to get him more knives. Like he should hold a knife in each hand while he does this.
That's
I
funny.
actually like that design. Wow, this is
Yeah.
impressing me too. Wow.
So you guys can't see a ton there, but I've got some cool stuff. I'll try to read it off here. So nut butters that spread good. We're a new model of empowerment. We're happy you found us. Uh, the purchase is providing job opportunities for women overcoming adversity to get back on their feet. Our impact chart is the right, shows how we're doing this. So they have like a whole women facing adversity. That's their hiring policy. Then they provide job skills, team building, and that's kind of their community. So really cool. Love the messaging. Comes with a nice little insert here, which is great, and then has the product in the back, QR code. Jenny always likes to ask where the QR code's going, so I
I'm
got you.
curious too.
Uh,
Hopefully 15% off your next order.
yeah, it helps if I have Wi-Fi going on here. I had to turn it off, so I got people leave me alone while I'm on my unboxing. All right. So it just takes me to actually recipes. So a bunch of recipes and yeah, some 15% off. That's exactly right. And we love that. So we did it. We knocked it out of the park. We're looking good here. Packing slip, which actually wasn't even on the last one, didn't even mention. So we know what we got. We got the Snickerdoodle almond, cashew coconut butter, and then a chunky hazelnut almond butter. And you guys can see right here, really cool packaging. Jack, I will leave it to you now if you have any
Yeah.
comments.
Wow, Jenny, that would be the highest that we've gotten, a 9.5. Well, I love it. I mean, it's hard to say something bad about this one. Imagine if we have a season finale winner at the end of this all. But and I'm curious, like this is kind of what Clarence did on his too, the recipes. And somehow I don't know what they're using, but and how about me hitting that 15% nail on the head right there, right? It's like I'm
Very
learning.
good.
It's like I'm learning something on
Yeah,
this.
getting better, Jack. Every day you're getting better.
But I
Yeah.
don't know, chat. What do you guys think, Michael? I love that, Michael. Okay, yep. I'm gonna go hit up chat for some, cause what?
9-2 because they shipped on time. Cool note, packing slip. Yeah, they want me to make this, makes me want to go
That's
back and
so
redo. But
funny.
Clarence, your packaging's pretty good, dude. I don't know
Yeah.
what else you could do there.
Well, the
It's
other
pretty good.
thing I really,
Although, yeah,
well, I
go
was
ahead.
no, although, forgive me.
No, go.
So the
I forgot
box,
now.
right? Like I was just thinking to myself, because I had never experienced a box where you cut the tape and you slide it out and it's a perfect box. It's almost like if the first packaging experience had just rolled over four corners of a piece of cardboard on their box and just taped it with some brand tape, you know, like I don't know, that's the first time I've seen that and I'm kind of blown away by how novel and simple and easy it was and how I haven't seen it, in the uh series since then. So, yeah, I'm at a 9 flat to be honest with you. Um
Okay.
that's where my head's at, and it's hard
That's
to
a good
find something
that's a
bad
good
about
Jack Norman score. That's a good
it.
Jack Norman score. You're pretty, yeah, you don't go too low and you don't go too high, you know.
I tried. I
So
tried to keep
yeah.
something. I mean, the only thing that would have made it a 9.5 and a winner is if like it would have to be something like totally unique,
Yeah.
like the offer code on the QR was like, okay, you just got your next one free, with another purchase or something like that. But
Yep, I love that.
Dave, 9.5, I like that.
So chat, before I throw it out there, any other new scores? For what it's worth, like Dave's been on every single episode. Obviously Jack's been on every single episode. So is Clarence, Jenny. So I'm just giving you guys orders of like people that have always graded and stuff. So when the 9.2, 9.3, 9.4, those are good real scores from people that have been grading for weeks and weeks. Just to give orders of magnitude. We went from because we just did a 5.5 to a 9.5. So those that are new might be like, what the heck is going on with you guys? But there's a lot of things that you saw. QR code, inserts, great packaging, branded packaging, on-time delivery, low-cost shipping, ship same day. I mean, check, 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 right? So if anybody else got some cool scores on there, I'd love to just fire it up if you can. If not, I will give my score.
I would say that I'll ask you this. Is $8 what you would expect that shipping cost to be?
There's It's a great question. So I have two answers for that.
Yeah.
As a customer, I don't mind paying that because it's £3, $30 product, got here relatively normal. That feels good. As a brand, I don't know what their actual cost was to ship that. So as if I'm thinking about the brand more than myself as the customer, I know that what we charge is probably around, we'd probably charge like $5.50 or $5.25 for something like that. Very similar. UPS Ground Saver, it might have gone with us, maybe a different carrier because we have this cool rate shopping tool. So if they're charging $8, customer still feels the same. They picked up $3, $2.50, $2.75 a margin on that deal. So that $30 purchase, they just added a little bit more, depending. I don't know what they charge on their side. So I guess my answer is I feel okay as a customer paying that. I didn't think that it was out of line. In fact, I typically just feel good paying $10 for shipping anytime because it just seems like that's normal these days. And I look at it as, can I make more money as a brand? Are there other ways I can, improve my margin by, having better carriers or better service? So
Yeah.
yeah, they probably broke even or made a couple bucks. Yeah. Yeah, probably. If they're shipping on their own account, you're probably right, Michael. If they're using a 3PL, like that's the reason why people use a 3PL. Because essentially, like if I could save them $3 on the freight or $4 on their freight, that covers like the pick and pack costs, right? So you're like break even, when it comes to something like that on using that service, and then you have all the other benefits of using a 3PL. So
Yeah. They were glass, right? Glass jars. Or were they
there are glass
plastic?
jars. Yeah, yeah. Oh, and I'm a 9.4.
Okay,
I
and
didn't
nine.
even write that. Yeah,
I got it. That
yeah.
that just FYI, that ties our season winner so far.
Yep, yep. It's true. It's true. Okay. We carry on to B2B and omni-channel fulfillment. So B2B fulfillment, again, those that are new on the call, it's something that we're seeing more and more of in the space, being able to fulfill orders for retailers, not just physically sending them a bunch of goods because you have to get set up with them and get approved by them. And it's a big process. We understand that, but they have the way I look at B2B fulfillment too is also drop ship a little bit. It's kind of a D2C hybrid, but it's still a business order, B2B order a little bit. But that's trying to expand your selling channels, I think is super important as a brand, trying to just be in multiple stores, having eyes on your product. If you are nervous, you're scary, you're not sure how that whole world works and how to get into it, feel free to jump on, grab some time, we can chat about it, we can talk about scaling, we can talk about what retailers are requiring, what they need, and then also then how do we optimize it? How do we make sure that we're, utilizing your inventory right in the right spots? Do we have an East Coast and a West Coast? Should you just be West Coast? Like, do we do custom packaging for the B2B orders, these retailers? What are chargebacks looking like? Like those are things that as a brand can become very overwhelming. And we can help out with that and just kind of the knowledge and get to help you out and just when should I look at B2B and how do I get into B2B? Those are those are really things that we can support, help you out with. And that leads to what omni-channel fulfillment is, which is something that we're natively good at and we like to do. And most of our brands are, and we're actually going to open up one of our customers here, which is kind of cool. We haven't done a Shipcom customer before,
Yeah.
which is interesting. So we'll see that. And there's a little caveat to that because it actually didn't come from my warehouse, but we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, omni-channel fulfillment, just it's really starting to just take off, and more brands are becoming, you know, just being open, being more aware and being more visible. And it's hard to do, but having a fulfillment provider that can help you out with that, making sure that you're optimizing your savings and your cost there, and just creating an amazing experience for your customer and allowing you to scale, at the end of the day, and allowing you to grow. Like nut butter, they should be ground up, should be, on Trader Joe's shelves soon.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful product. They should be, getting onto other retail stores and channels and doing drop ship. It's a great product, and similar to Cordova, like those things, you shouldn't feel like you can't do that as a brand, because Shopify is creating more opportunity for it. There's just a lot of chance, ability to do that out there. So,
Yeah. And then,
yeah,
Brandon, flash up those
yeah,
slides, and while you're throwing them up, so the folks can see B2B and Omni real quick, I'll mention, like, this just jumped into my head, but for a growing smaller brand like that, ground up, that nut butter company, like if you think about
yeah,
the amount of money they're spending on their inserts, their QR codes, like their detailed packaging, like this is clearly a brand that cares about the customer, right?
yeah,
Like I was really impressed just now that I'm thinking about costs, right? It's like, I think about someone like, MeUndies or Chubbies or someone like that. I mean, they must spend like 60, 70% more than most people do who just throw it in a cardboard box and ship it.
hmm yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, like, well,
it's
when you say
important.
spend 50 to 60% more, then who?
Like then then a brand who I suppose just puts a
Getting
product
going.
in a cardboard box, tapes it, slaps a
Yep.
sticker on it, and sends it, right? Like to have all
Yeah.
of the branding, like on the inside flap of that. Like I
Yeah.
was really impressed with that. It tells their story, everything about it.
Yeah, you're right. So like, yeah, there's a cost of goods at that point. Is exactly right. Yeah, there's yeah, exactly what Jenny's saying. You nailed it on that. Ultimately, your customer likes your product and they think you care. And that's a repeat customer. That's exactly right. But there's a cost. Your point is like there's a cost of entry into that whole space, right?
Yeah.
And when you're selling, candidly, the nut butter is $16 a jar, good quality, amazing. I have no problem paying for it. You have room to potentially, I don't know what their margins are, but to invest in that experience. Someone who's selling, which we've had products on here before, like the little lights, right? That you just like hang in your room, like TikTok lights or whatever those were.
Yeah.
Those are a couple bucks what they sell them for. They're probably not trying to invest in it. So yeah, there's that balance, where you are in the world of the CPG experience.
Yeah, I think about
Yep.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and just yell at me if my slides aren't going up. You can interrupt me, dude. We've been doing
Oh, it
this
was
long enough. Just
cool.
be like,
No,
hey,
I wanted to look at you. I was
get
enjoying
your
it.
head, get your head out of your ass and put some slides up. Who wants to see you?
Well, this is some heavy hitters here. These guys, these are like some YouTube sensations, hot ones.
Yeah, so Keekness is a customer of Shipcoms, which is pretty cool. We do their B2B fulfillment though. So we do a lot of their B2B stuff. They came to us because where they currently were, we just weren't able to handle that and they couldn't scale with them and just help them go. They have a ton of different SKUs. They do a lot of kitting and custom bundling and yeah, it's a lift and but a great lift. We love working with them. Super chill dudes and people, and we, like I said, we do a lot of their B2B, well, all their B2B business. So we send in pallets and pallets of stuff into like Target, Unified, KeHE, things of that nature. This, we don't do their direct to consumer part of their business. So this came in through their direct to consumer channel. I know who it came from. I'm not going to mention because I just know where they're at, but that's okay. This was ordered on 6/23, so Monday, shipped same day, which I expected from this other 3PL. They do a good job. It got here Wednesday, so it's Friday, so 2 days. We did 2 days shipping. This is the $10 product in here when we get into this, and $20 for 2-day expedited. Okay.
Jeez. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
let me hold my breath before you said that number. Okay.
Yeah, and it was from New Jersey too. So it wasn't like it was coming across the country. I mean, it was coming maybe zone 3, worst case. So little expensive, I think, on the 2-day. Now, my bet is Heatness, they've been in the business for a long time. They just say, hey, you're just paying $20 regardless of where this is going if you want 2-day shipping. It's probably a brand decision. So that was the checkout to doorstep experience. Cool. All right, let me stop share. So polybag, nothing crazy special here. Probably on design, my bet is everybody knows Heatness, knows Hot Ones, knows it's a big deal. They probably are worried, but someone will jack this. But yeah, nothing crazy here. So
Yeah.
and we get in here. There's no packing slip, so I'm gonna
Jesus.
go with a negative on that guy. And we've got the Stay Spicy, which we actually build these, which is cool. But they have the Stay Spicy box here, which is, really nice. It's cool. They got some good branding here. But no, well, we'll see what happens when we open this up.
Yeah.
Tell I don't actually. Okay. So cool. Keeps it nice and safe. They got really cool branding in here, of course, and just a nice experience. This does feel like I bought like a high quality, high end hot sauce. They've got their sticker in here, which is cool. Nice little thank you very much, Heatness. And yeah, the product's in here. So they got one sauce, folds out, and there you go. Quite the box here that's put together. So we put these together at our warehouse too, just for what it's worth. It'll come to us in like so if you're a brand that's like, hey, how custom can I get with boxing, and like, will my 3PL like actually be able to handle this shit? Like, we literally get this stuff flat packed like this, and then our team puts this together and builds like hundreds and thousands of these things and then sticks it in. We do like trios and stuff like that, which is fun. But yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Michael makes a good point. They're all like that. These hot sauce guys have the most unique, it's almost like liquid death for hot sauce, you know.
Yeah. So Here to Slay, hot sauced by Heatness. It says corn on there. So they do some cool stuff. They do really, really, really cool stuff. So that's that.
Yeah, I mean, geez, the way you're holding it there, it feels like it's kind of dented. Is it dented?
It is dented. Yeah, it is definitely dented.
I don't want to, I don't know. It's one of those things like, well, it's plastic. I would have assumed hot sauce would be glass, and and
Hmm.
and is and without knowing and making assumption. I mean, chat, we all know how bad it is to make assumptions, right? I was thinking if you put it in a poly bag, right? Like I was envisioning glass inside that poly bag and then no sticker that said fragile. And I was immediately at first reaction going to be like, oh God, this is a loss here, you know? But then as we got into the cardboard,
Yeah.
like that whole inlay, the ability to, like the cardboard protects it, it almost could have been shipped in its own box there. So, um, yeah, it's the shipping price that really kills me. The packaging
Yeah,
was
that was.
cool. No packing slip. You got to ding them for that. I mean, they had a sticker, but I guess they're just making the assumption that, oh, everyone knows who Hot Ones is and who we are. So like we don't need to go overtly brand ourselves on someone that already purchased. So yeah, for me, I'm at 7.
I like that. That feels like a good score. Cool protective box. Yeah, 7-2. Katrina, very nice.
Yeah, I'm at 7.
Wyatt, Dave. Jenny gave hers 6.5 for me, Jack. Yep, 7.3.
Yeah, it's got to say something funny. Like, I dare you to take more than one drop. That's
Yeah,
funny. Put that
right.
on a sticker.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
you can have that.
It's some
So,
good.
that's
I
fun.
like that. There definitely could have been more of an experience, I agree. Just given who they are and what they got going on. So, um, what do you think there, Jack?
I'm at a seven flat. Seven flat.
You were 7 flat. Wow, you are
Yep.
a 7. You are a flat guy today. You're
Yeah,
a
I'm
nine,
relatively
a
flat.
7. Yeah, relatively flat. Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna go, and I know they're not watching, but I'm gonna send this to them anyways. And I know them really well. I'm gonna go 6.3. Hedonist. You're gonna get that because I didn't get my packing slip. My bottle's dented, and I paid $20 for 2 days shipping a tiny little hot sauce bottle. Not cool about
Good.
it. That's what you
All
get.
right. Well, combine that with a video of you trying the hot sauce too, and then like, what do they do when they do that? Drink like 2 gallons of milk and eat like 10 crackers, and they're like, I can't handle this.
Yeah. Well, this one is like, I don't know if this is on their actual hot ones like deal. This one looks like so what they curate a lot of hot sauce too. So this one looks like they actually made this one by Heatonist. So
Sweet.
um pretty
All
cool.
right.
So
Well,
all
keep
right, team. Well,
keep
we're
winning.
keeping on track. Yeah, we're looking good here.
Speaking of
Um
box sizes,
yeah, yeah, exactly. This is nice. Look, we switched up our deck a little. Looks nice and clean today. It's very Look at that. So, yeah, I mean, talking about negotiating shipping rates and, bringing down costs, we talk about this on a weekly basis. There's so many carriers out there that are doing last mile. So if you're a brand and you're just frustrated with sometimes FedEx and UPS costs, there are other opportunities out there. So I encourage you to look at like OSM and On Track and Ship Hype and ShipX. And yes, there are all these kind of last mile carriers that you can kind of interwork with sometimes. Sometimes they don't work with the branded depending on volume and stuff, and that's where 3PL can come into play. We can leverage our relationships and the number of orders we ship every day to help bring costs down for you. And most often than not, the savings on the freight alone working with the 3PL ends up covering like any kind of pick pack costs that you would essentially think about paying for. And then you obviously leverage your time and you get all your time back and all of those things when, uploading all this operational lift, to another third party. That being said, we have a lot of brands that we work with, that we talk to, that run their own warehouse, and you can constantly negotiate your rates, both ways. They're going to try to hold you to a standard. You can hold them back and be, as business grows and scales, yeah, take to their thing. Yes, Jenny. Yep. Take care. We'll talk to you later. You're going to miss the last one. It's
yeah, we'll
exciting,
we'll
but
have to
that's
send you the
okay.
winner. Yep.
We'll send you the winner. So these are things you guys could do. Just understanding the dim weights, shipping zones, analyzing the data. I can always help out with that and be a partner for you guys in that. Just looking at data, running a parcel analysis, and see if there's opportunities. Sometimes if you're a brand and you're like, oh shit, I didn't realize that 80% of my customers are in New York and I'm shipping from California. Those are things we can look at together. So, all right.
Tin Marin. These bags are handcrafted, artisan, primarily in South America, Mexico, to be precise. But um, yeah, this is another person who we've had register, has been on some of these calls, and I'm excited to look at this package, mostly because I'm a tape guy, and I noticed the tape, it's been eyeing me the entire call, so I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, you are a tape guy.
I'm a tape guy.
So yeah,
I'm
we
relatively flat, and I'm a tape guy.
you know so yeah, this was ordered on 6/19. So last week, they shipped it the next day. The shipping was free for this, but it was $115, I think, for the bag that you guys will see. The estimated delivery time for this was supposed to be 6/23, and it never showed up to 6/25. So that would probably be, the biggest negative on that whole experience. And other than that, I got, tracking pretty much right away. It did ship a day later. So I didn't really get any updates though, like when it was delivered, um, anything like that. I actually had to go and check and make sure it did deliver because I was out of town. But but yeah, other than that, that's kind of the start to finish experience there. So here we are. We've got some cool tape here. I believe it says, yeah, La Miga, and then it's got Tin Marin branding here, which is nice here, which is cool. Labels over here. So I love that. The label is not on the branding or on the tape or anything like that. So we got this cool. Um, and then ground shipping. So it went USPS Ground Advantage. Came from San Diego, California. Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah. So and it got here in what I thought was relatively a good, reasonable time. And it feels pretty light. It's coming in at 24 ounces. I don't know if this is 2 pounds or not. But here we go. Yeah. So we'll get into this. I didn't even think about an actual box cutter. Probably a good idea. We get like a ship com on. Maybe we can order from a box cutting company.
That is a great idea.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Open it up. That's where we're living. Okay. So we got a packing slip with a little sticker on the packing slip. So check the box there. That's nice. It's there, just so you guys know. And we got a cool bag. So look good, do good. We make everyday bags with the purpose of doing good so you can wander the world with ease. Learn more about our brand. QR code goes to their website. Let's see if it gives us a little discount. The next order. It smells fantastic, like premium quality, just so everybody knows.
Damn, that's actually it. I should have gotten smell checks on all of these throughout the whole.
Yeah, didn't have that.
Yeah.
10% off on my next order. So I know you guys can't see that because of the glare, but there you go. I wouldn't say this could go in any other size box, candidly. Now, maybe a bag, a bag inside of a bag, just to protect it a little bit. This is good quality. It's $120. Um, maybe something like that. This is cool though. It's like so that just opened up. So it's like for you ladies, it kind of like just ties off, which is cool. So you can just dump a bunch of shit in there and just kind of do that. Good cool pockets, really nice product, just so everybody knows. Like the quality is phenomenal. So but I think like I don't know who we had the very beginning. We've had a couple bags, I think, and they have like a nice kind of a shell bag almost, which I think would have done nice for this, just because you worry about it getting damaged from the box or squished or whatever it might be. So just given the cost, maybe that would have been an added nice thing. Maybe some, they do have this little thing here, which had sent me to the QR code and stuff. So I guess that makes up for the, marketing slip or anything like that. But love your thoughts. Love everybody where you're at. Let me know.
Yeah, chat, fire it in. This is our last one.
Last one.
Dust cover. Okay, yeah. So
Dust cover. Thanks, Penny.
I don't
That's
really, I don't even understand the bag world market, and opening up the box, even me, I was like, oh, they just tossed it in there,
Yeah.
and that felt kind of funny from my side. I also love the tape. Katrina makes a great point.
Yeah.
You know,
Wired coming in strong. Love that 8.5 already.
and
Just
then
getting it ready.
the 2 day shipping, or okay, is the free shipping because it was so expensive?
Cost, yeah. So most brands, what we see, $75 and up, $100 and up, free shipping. I just got two t-shirts, a couple of t-shirts actually, and they were 100. There's a bunch of t-shirts, and they're $150 and up. They gave me free shipping. So anything that typically there's this tipping scale. Once you pay that, they usually throw it in there. So that's where it was. But it does go ground. So it's not like now if I switch to 2 day or overnight, then I'm paying for shipping. But standard ground, usually they throw that in there.
Yeah.
There you
Okay.
go. Yeah, clearance. They do. They make it part of the price. Yeah, that's
Yeah, because
exactly right.
I couldn't tell if you felt like you were getting a deal on shipping, or like you kind of know, oh, I paid so much and it's ground, whatever type of deal.
It's it's just an interesting play on how you do it as a brand,
Yeah.
right? Because I don't know any different. I think, oh, it's a $115 bag, it's good quality, cool. They probably baked the shipping cost in there. So yeah,
Yeah.
we got some good scores. We got 7, 7.8, 8.2. Agree with the dust cover, 7.4. Yeah. Jack, what do you got?
I'm 7 flat because I can't shake the feeling of no, I can't shake the feeling of opening that box and seeing,
You're just
but the
flat
bag in
today,
there.
bro.
No, but bro,
Yeah.
I can't
Jacko
shake
flat.
I can't shake the feeling of just Penny made. I mean, it's like we're on the same wavelength or something. I just couldn't shake the feeling of opening up the box and just seeing just the bag sitting there. I mean, I really
Yeah.
genuinely probably, would have gone to the store to buy it at least. I don't know if I would have shipped it again. It left me feeling kind of weird. Just a weird feeling. I don't can't, can barely explain it.
Unsatisfied. Unsatisfied. All right. I like that. I'm a 7-1.
Okay.
So, all righty. We got 5 minutes left. We've got a few things. These are just, we added these the last couple weeks. Sometimes people are like, well, what can you bring as a brand to me, Shipcom? We're a full operation solution. So you can just think about it as we're your OpEx team, we call it. So we're not just shipping and picking and packing stuff for you. We've got a customer experience and support. We have a D2C specialist, a B2B specialist. We have an inventory specialist for you. You have like a legit operations team that you don't have to think about hiring or focusing in on stuff, and you can just, grow your business. This is just a quick dashboard. If you were to work with us, hey, gives you the stuff on the left. You can see it's not interactive because it's a screenshot, but like just insights into your business. What's going on with the inbound? What do you have for returns? What's the inventory management look like? You can do the small parcel analysis, right here in the dashboard and get up to date, real-time information there as well. So super cool. We just like to show that, we're not just picking and packing orders for you. There is some tech behind this, and you've got kind of this cool dashboard interactive world. Because we like to see that stuff as a brand. And we just kind of finish this up here. Why are people using us right now? It just ties in from the beginning of the website, or the beginning of the presentation, sorry. Removing barriers to growth, helping you scale. That's what we do. Yeah, go smoke some ribs. How can I have you guys judge mine? There you go. Cindy. Cindy wants us to judge. I mean, you can send us probably, what's the best way? There you go. Jack,
Yeah,
nailed it.
wow, Cindy, I was just gonna throw our emails in there so we had them regardless, but yeah, I mean, do you
Email me.
yeah, send an email
Yes.
to us.
Cindy, just send me an email at Brandon@Shipcom. That way I've got you connected in my world. And then I will connect with you, and I'll just order some stuff from you.
Yeah, also
Um,
the next unboxing is on the 10th, July 10th. So,
yeah, we're taking a week off next week. That's right. Good call. We're taking a week off, and we're going to start with a whole new series. It's going to be about returns. Omni-channel packaging's been fun. We'll still talk about packaging because that's just like what we do. But yeah, these are some of the brands that we work with, and I think final scores, right?
yeah.
Right, Jacko?
Yes, yes, boy. Let's do it. Okay, so here's what we got. Final scores.
Thank you, Katrina.
Always
Thank you,
listen
Katrina.
some jazz music going out at the end. We have 2 minutes left. Okay, so coming in fourth this week, we have Cordova with a 5.5
Hmm.
outdoors. It was, just not there with the delivery dates and what was inside of that box as far as cost savings is concerned. Um, Coming in at third, we have Hedonist, right? It's a well-known brand, but potentially too well-known for their own good. It's with a 6.3. Coming in at second, we have Tin Marin, the bag. I mean, they didn't have
Yep.
a dust cover on it. I mean, Penny and I were saying it the whole day. You needed that to make it a better experience, and they were at a 7.1. And then tied for our highest score ever with Fire Department Coffee, we have a 9.4 with nut butter. They were fantastic. I actually thought maybe I wanted to buy some of that after I saw that experience, and it looks good. So Brandon, you'll have to tell me how it tastes. But
Oh yeah. I'll butter
hey,
up some stuff for you, Jacko. I got you.
good. I'll fly out and we'll just hang out together. I'd love to do that. But anyway, so this is goodbye with a minute left. Send us an email. Cindy, Katrina, thank you so much for being here. My Texas girl, Penny, Cindy, everyone. This has been a blast. So thanks so much, everyone, and we'll see you on the 10th.
See you in a couple
Email us.
weeks, everybody.
Yeah.
Happy July 4th. Be good, stay safe, and sell some shit and grow some businesses.
Yeah, let's
All
grow
right.
some businesses. See ya.
See ya.